Emir of Kano, Malam Muhammadu Sanusi II, has said that persistent policy inconsistency was a major obstacle to the country's economic and agricultural development. Sanusi said this during a joint session of the United Nations World Food Programme (WFP) and the African Development Bank (AFDB), organized on the sidelines of the Nigeria Economic Summit in Abuja. He said Nigeria's biggest problem remained the lack of continuity in government policies and failure by Nigeria's civil service to serve as an institutional memory to sustain reforms beyond political transitions.
And the biggest problem I see with our country is the lack of policy continuity. I mean, we have a democracy and you have governments for 4 years. Unfortunately, what seems to happen is that every time you have an election, a new government comes in, it's almost as if everybody starts on a clean slate. And again, because some of these things we take for granted, a civil service that is supposed to be the institutional memory has either by design or by default failed to do that. So many things, you find that after 10 years, we come back and we're talking about the same thing. And we discovered that there were at least 13 different varieties of tomato that could produce the China red paste, produced in research institutes in Nigeria, not available to farmers, because we had a law that was passed in the 60s or 70s by some genius that said only one agency, the National Seed Council, had a monopoly on foundation seeds. So you had the seeds right there in institutions, but it was illegal for those seeds to be commercialized. The way to deal with poverty is to go to these areas and look at these value chains and fix them. And at each stage, from production to storage to transportation to haulage to logistics, you're creating jobs. You are generating an entire economy. Fixing the agri value chain and getting investments into it is the best solution for dealing with poverty in northern Nigeria.
Also speaking, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa said that agriculture remained Nigeria's most reliable sector.
The last report, actually oil only contributed 4.something%, while agriculture 26%. So for that reason, agriculture, you can't make a mistake. One of the things we did as a government, is to ensure that we go directly into agriculture. I'm happy to tell you that Nasarawa actually identified 10,000 hectares of land and to do agriculture. We cultivated the first 2,000. After harvesting the 2,000, we have expanded, and then increased the number of the area that we needed to do. And that area was more difficult because we had to do land clearing of additional 1,300. So for us in Nasarawa, we are very lucky when it comes to preservation because, again, I'm lucky. We have the storage, owned by the federal government, owned by the minister right there in Lafia. So most of our harvest, we take directly to Lafia. So we want to get directly involved in it so that we can show people that we are serious about it. And the good thing about Nigeria is that every state has potential for agriculture.
Also, Governor Umar Radia of Katsina State reiterated the need to fix the seed system in the country.
For us, since we have a very big problem in the northern part of the country, which is the land tenure system, in which our land is fragmented into small pieces. So the only issue you have is to have very good seed, and also you put smart agricultural innovation into it, then you increase productivity. We need to add value to what we produce. An addition of value to what we produce create jobs and improve economy, and also improve the income of our farmers.
Also speaking, the Vice President of Olam Nigeria announced that the company was expanding its investments in local agricultural processing to boost Nigeria's value chain development.
And for us, we don't look at challenges, we look at opportunities. And the opportunities that abound in Nigeria are there. And for us, value chains, rice, soya, maize, sorghum, and the likes. So against this backdrop, we are making an investment of $45 million, setting up a soya crushing facility in Ilorin in Kwara State. That will be done before the end of the year.